pepper dip. And before you panic and be like, ugh, pepper. It's very sweet. And what I do is I just take a large jar of roasted red peppers. And you can see here they are peeled and they're pretty much segmented. And I've drained most, but not all. Count and let them cool, and then you can slit the skins right off. So it's not that hard to do, but there's some things that I don't mind buying a little bit of convenience from the store. I'm picky. I'm very selective about what convenience products I do buy, though, because there's just a lot of junk in everything. So, and while we're on the subject of junk, I would like to recommend a little book. I think you can get it off of any of the online book purveyors, but it's called A Shopper's Guide to Preservatives and Food Additives. And you can get it, it's just pocket sized. It's a tiny little thing. You can get that and basically go to your pantry and exercise your kitchen. And if you think that you don't need to exercise your kitchen, you just haven't read labels, because there is some junk out there. And we really find this to be especially true in vegan and vegetarian cuisine. I don't know why, but it seems like for everything they take out, they got to put some crap back in. So that's my soapbox. But what I have in this little jar that looks kind of gross but isn't is something called garlic confit. Now I usually buy my organic garlic by the pound, and obviously I'm not going to eat a whole pound of garlic, and if I did, my husband would divorce me. So what I do is I take the garlic, and if you just bring some water to a boil and pop your little buds, the individual cloves of garlic, into some boiling water, dip that out, and then put it in some ice water. 30 seconds. Then you can just go kind of pop like this, and the little garlic cloves just shoot out of their skin. So it's pretty easy to peel a lot of garlic quickly that way. And then what I do is I put it into a roasting pan, and I make sure that the garlic cloves are completely covered with olive oil. Now, olive oil is my oil of choice. I'm not going to get on, that's for another show, the whole trans fat, bad fat issue. But I use the olive oil and make sure that the garlic cloves are completely covered. And then I just cook them for about 350 degrees until they're tender. Now, this is not the same as putting them in foil and roasting them. This is something that would be called garlic confit. And confit is just a fancy French term that means with fat. So I'm cooking the garlic with fat. And what it does, in effect, is it preserves the garlic, and it also gives it this super nutty taste and wonderful. So I do this by the jar full that you can see, and then I just keep it in my refrigerator, and it keeps for months. So I'm going to take about 6 or 7 of the garlic confit, and I'm going to put those into the food processor, along with another favorite product of mine, which is I don't know if you can see it very well, it's kind of brown and goopy, it's not peanut butter, it's actually sesame butter or sesame tahini. This product is available in roasted or raw. The one I have here happens to be a roasted tahini. So what we're going to do is we're going to put about 2 tablespoons of this roasted tahini. And of course, you know, sesame seeds are not a nut, they are actually a seed, duh. So this is a seed butter, which again, with seed butters or nut butters, you've got very heart-healthy fats, and you've got protein. You've also got some trace minerals and things like selenium and things of that nature. So it's a great, great product to use. And I'm just going to start it out with about half of the peppers and the tahini and give it a whirl, and then we're going to add a couple of other ingredients to it. And you know, I always mess this food processor up. I have 2, and this is my baby, and I don't usually use the baby. So here we go. And I'm pulsing. Now, I know you can't see anything but goop, but it is getting pulsed up. And what I have here is I have a cup of tomato puree. Well, it's actually a half a cup of puree and a half a cup of water. In lieu of that, you could just use a cup of tomato juice, or if you can find a lower sodium organic version, you could use like something comparable to an 8-6 vegetable blend, whatever. Let me turn the heat down on my pan just a little bit since we're not ready for it yet. Don't want to get it too crazy hot. All right, and I'm going to put a good pinch, but not quite a half teaspoon of salt into this. And I've got some honey here. Sometimes your peppers are sweeter than other times, and sometimes you need it and sometimes you don't. So the next thing here is we've got a little bit, I'm going to call it about a tablespoon of double strength concentrated tomato paste. Just prefer that product because it's economical in the long run, since you usually end up wasting the can when you open it and don't use the whole thing. And then just a fresh lemon. And this just gives the pepper dip a little bit of zing. And I'm going to get some of this out, see if I can do it without getting the seeds. Here we go. I think I got one seed, but I don't think it'll kill us. Okay, now I'm going to give this another blend. Ooh, that looks so good. And then the last thing I want to do before I call it done is I want to give it just a little bit of a taste here and make sure that my salt is good, make sure that my peppers are sweet enough. Oh. I think I'm just going to take this and go in the other room and not tell anybody I made it. It's so good. Now, to me, this one's sweet enough, so I think I'm going to forego the honey. But like I said, it'll depend a lot of times on the peppers. Now, I got about half of a large jar left there. And for the purpose that we're doing today, I'm just going to leave it at that. But I would normally use this entire amount in my large food processor and make, you know, a vat of dip. But we're just making a small amount here today, just enough to go along with these great sandwiches. You can see isn't it a beautiful color? It's a really festive color. Either, you know, Christmas, any fall holiday really. I'm going to set that right over there. So my pan's ready, my dip's ready to go. Let's do these sandwiches real quick. They're already pre-buttered, so I'm going to go ahead and place a few slices in, buttered side down. Okay, get the buttered side down, and we're going to top them with some of these little slices of bocconcini and some tomato. And like I said, I actually love this sandwich the best with goat cheese, fresh goat cheese, and green tomato. But since my market didn't have it today, and the local farm where I usually get goat cheese, he's closed. So I couldn't get that goat cheese today. So we're doing bocconcini. And I'm just going to take these tomatoes that I've pre-salted, pat a little bit of extra moisture off of them by turning them over and just kind of giving them a little pat. And what I'm doing is I'm actually laying a slice on each bread. Okay. Man, they